Michael nodded, his eyes lingering on her face one last time. "Thank you," he said, his voice low but steady. Belinda watched as he stepped into the early morning light, the trees casting long shadows over the narrow path. He turned once, offered her a small, grateful smile, then disappeared into the bush. She closed the door gently, her heart heavy but proud. He was gone. A stranger who had arrived broken and helpless, now walking toward freedom and maybe, one day, back to her. She sat on the floor, the quiet of dawn wrapping around her like a cold blanket. For the first time in a long while, she felt something like peace. The house remained still. Margaret and Brenda were still asleep. Belinda rose, wiped her eyes, and began her morning chores, her movements slow but steady. As she swept the compound, Brenda walked out, stretching and yawning. "You're up early," she said, squinting at her. Belinda didn't reply. She just kept sweeping. Brenda tilted her head. "You're acting strange these days." Still, Belinda said nothing. There was nothing more to explain, and even if she tried, they wouldn't understand. Later that afternoon, the village buzzed with news. A young man had been found wandering weakly near the main road. He had no memory of who he was or how he got there, but he kept repeating one name, Belinda. When the gossip reached their house, Margaret hissed, "Belinda? What does that fool have to do with anything?" Belinda quietly stirred the pot of soup on the fire, her face calm. Brenda looked at her with narrowed eyes. "Isn't that the name of that girl he was talking about?" Margaret scoffed. "He must be confused. Belinda doesn't even leave this house." Belinda smiled to herself and added more salt to the soup. Days turned into weeks. Michael did not return, but Belinda kept believing. She walked to the farm, fetched water, cleaned the compound, all while holding on to a quiet hope that one day, her door would open and he would walk in, smiling. And each night, as she lay on her thin mattress, she whispered to the stars, "I'm still waiting." Michael looked into her eyes, held her hand tightly, and said, "I could never forget you. You're different, Belinda. I promise, I'll return. And when I do, your life will never be the same again." She stood there, watching as he walked slowly into the shadows, disappearing behind the trees. Her chest ached, but she quietly closed the door and returned to bed. Lying on her back, eyes wide open, she wondered if she would ever see him again. By morning, everything in the house was as it always had been. "Go and wash the bathroom," Margaret shouted from the backyard. "Lazy girl. You think your dreams will cook food?" Brenda added with a laugh. Belinda said nothing. She obeyed every command, but her thoughts were far away, on the man who left before sunrise, and the promise he had made. Days passed, then weeks, but still no word from Michael. She often whispered to herself, "Where are you, Michael? You said you'd come back." Unknown to her, Michael had collapsed that very morning not far from her home. His body was weak, his chest tight, his head burning with fever. He tried to call for help, but no sound came out. He lay there helpless, thinking it was the end. But fate intervened. A farmer walking home from his field spotted him lying in the grass. Without wasting time, he called for help. A passing motorcyclist stopped, and together, they rushed Michael to a hospital in the city. At the hospital, nurses hurried him inside, placed him on oxygen, and wheeled him into the emergency room. After examining him, the doctor shook his head. "This man is lucky to still be alive," he said. "Why?" the nurse asked. "He has internal bleeding. If he had arrived any later, he wouldn't have made it." They worked quickly, giving him fluids, medicine, injections. For 2 days, Michael barely moved. His eyes remained closed, and pain overwhelmed him. But even in that state, His thoughts stayed with Belinda, the quiet village girl who had saved his life. He remembered her soft voice, gentle hands, and calm smile. He didn't want to survive just for himself. He wanted to see her again. Each day, the doctor checked on him. "You're getting stronger. Just rest and eat," he said. Michael gave a weak nod. On the fourth day, as he lay quietly in his hospital bed, the door opened slowly. A tall, older man with worried eyes stepped in. It was Michael's father. "Michael," he called softly. Michael opened his eyes. "Dad." His father rushed to his side and took his hand. "My son, we've been looking everywhere. No phone calls. Nothing. We were all so worried." Michael's voice was faint. "It's a long story." "Don't talk too much," his father said gently, patting his chest. "Just focus on healing." After a pause, Michael whispered, "Dad, there's something I need to tell you." "What is it?" his father asked, leaning closer. "There's a girl. Her name is Belinda." "Belinda?" his father repeated, surprised. "She found me in the bush. Took me in. Fed me. Cleaned my wounds. She didn't know me, yet she helped me." His father's eyes widened. "She did all that?" Michael nodded slowly. "Yes, Dad. I want to go back. I have to find her." His father squeezed his hand. "You need to heal first. The doctor said you'll need 2 more weeks. You almost died, son. Please rest. After that, we'll find her. I promise." Michael sighed. "Okay, Dad." He looked around the room. "Where's Mom?" His father smiled. "She's fine. I didn't let her come." "Why?" "You know how emotional your mother is. She'd start crying in front of everyone." He chuckled. "We don't need that kind of drama here." Michael smiled faintly. "That woman is too dramatic." They both chuckled quietly. As Michael lay recovering in a clean hospital bed, surrounded by care and comfort, Belinda remained in the same house, feeling like a stranger. Nothing had changed. Her mother still shouted, and Brenda still laughed loudly, boasting about the money she earned from men in the nearby town. And Belinda, she still did all the work. One morning, Margaret shouted from the kitchen, "Belinda, you useless girl, come here." Belinda rushed in. "Yes, Ma." "Where's the salt I told you to buy yesterday? Did you eat it on the way or give it to one of those hungry boys like you?" Belinda swallowed hard. "I gave you the change. The salt is in the black nylon in the corner." Margaret hissed. "You lie too much. Just like your useless father." Brenda walked in, chewing gum. Maybe her new friend ate the salt with her. We still don't know who she was hiding in her room that day. Belinda's heart jumped. She quickly turned her face away. Margaret narrowed her eyes. "I've been thinking about that too. This girl has been acting strange since that day she went to the farm and came back without the yam. That time her door was locked too." "I told you, Mama," Brenda said. "She's hiding something. Maybe she's seeing men now but pretending to be holy." Belinda turned sharply. "That's not true. I'm not like you, Brenda." Before she could say more, her mother's hand struck her face. "You dare talk to your sister like that?" Margaret shouted. "I knew it. You're hiding something. Start talking now. Who was in your room that day?" Belinda held her cheek and stared at the ground. She couldn't tell them the truth. "I was just resting," she said quietly. Belinda stood in front of her mother, tears streaming down her face. "Mama, why?" Margaret looked up slowly, then sighed and turned her face away. "You weren't here," she said quietly. Belinda shook her head, her voice trembling. You didn't even send for me. You let Brenda take my place. You knew he came for me. Margaret wiped her forehead again, still avoiding her daughter's eyes. You think life is fair? Do you know how long I've waited for a chance like this? A rich man coming to marry into this family? Brenda was here. She looked the part. I had no choice. You had a choice, Belinda whispered. You just didn't choose me. Margaret stood up suddenly, angry now. And what have you ever brought to this house, Belinda? Nothing. You sweep, you cook, you fetch water, but that doesn't feed us. Brenda brings money. Brenda helps. So yes, I chose her. Belinda took a step back, her chest rising and falling. You let my sister steal my life, she said. You sold me out. Margaret looked away again, then walked into her room and shut the door. The silence that followed was heavy. Sophia stepped forward and gently touched Belinda's shoulder. Belinda turned to her slowly, her voice barely above a whisper. I loved him. Sophia pulled her into a hug. I know. But it's not over yet. Belinda wiped her tears. He needs to know the truth. Then let's go find him, Sophia said. Before it's too late. Belinda nodded, her heart pounding. She turned and walked out of the house, leaving behind the place where her trust had been broken. Margaret looked up slowly. You're back. Yes, Belinda said, her voice trembling. And I know what you did. You made Brenda pretend to be me. Why are you so cruel to me? Why do you hate me? Margaret said nothing. Belinda dropped to her knees. What did I ever do to you? Why have you hated me since Papa died? Am I not your daughter too? You refuse to be useful, Margaret replied coldly. You chose dreams over survival. Brenda brought money. You brought nothing we could eat. So this is your revenge. Belinda shouted. You stole my chance at happiness. You let my own sister take my place, all for money. You always act holy, Margaret said, standing. Now you know. Life isn't about being holy. It's about surviving. Belinda covered her face and wept. He came back. He kept his promise. And you sent him away with the wrong girl. Sophia had been standing at the door, her eyes red with emotion. You're heartless, she said to Margaret. You don't deserve a daughter like Belinda. Margaret hissed and turned away. Belinda stood slowly and walked into her room. She sat on her bed, crying into her wrapper, her heart heavy, not only from Michael's absence, but from the betrayal by her own mother and sister. Sophia came in quietly and sat beside her, holding her hand. I'm sorry, Belinda. I came as fast as I could. Belinda nodded through her tears. Thank you. You're the only one who truly cares. Should we go to the city and find him? Sophia asked. Belinda shook her head. He might believe Brenda is me. He may have already accepted the lie. She wiped her tears and stared at the ceiling. I don't know what to do now. But one thing I believe, God sees everything. One day, the truth will come out. In the city, Brenda now lived in Michael's mansion, surrounded by wealth, beautiful clothes, perfumes, a big room, maids, and guards. But despite all this, she was unhappy. Michael had grown distant. He treated her politely, but without affection. He didn't smile at her, hold her hand, or call her sweet names. One night, she entered his room in a short dress and sat beside him. She reached for his hand. Baby, she said, trying to smile. You've been distant. I'm your wife now. Can we enjoy each other? Michael gently removed her hand. Please. I'm not in the mood. She stared at him, stunned. What do you mean? I'm your wife. He walked to the window and stared into the night. You're not the woman I fell in love with. Brenda's heart skipped. What are you saying? He turned slowly. The Belinda I met was gentle, quiet, humble. She didn't show off. But you're different. Your attitude, your eyes, even your smile, it's not the same. Brenda laughed nervously. Maybe things just feel different now that we're married. Michael didn't respond. He walked out of the room. The next morning, he visited his mother. Mommy, he said as he sat down. I need to talk to you. She smiled. Is everything all right? He hesitated. Something doesn't feel right. What is it? I don't feel connected to her. This isn't the woman who cared for me when I was sick, who gave me water and covered me with her wrapper. I feel like I married someone else. His mother leaned forward. You just got married. These things happen at the beginning. No, Mom. This isn't about love growing. I mean, this is a different person. She acts like she's hiding something. His mother grew serious. So what do you want to do? I want to see her twin sister, the one in school. She blinked. Why? I need to be sure. Something feels wrong. His mother nodded. All right. If seeing her will bring you peace, then go. But handle it gently. That evening, Michael returned home. Brenda sat up quickly as he entered. Welcome, baby, she said with a forced smile. Thanks, he replied coldly. We need to talk. Okay, she said nervously. I want to visit your village again, to see your twin sister. Brenda's heart raced. Why? I told you she's in school. I want to see her with my own eyes. She smiled tightly. Sure. No problem. But inside, fear gripped her. If he went and saw Belinda, everything would unravel. That night, Brenda called her mother. Mama, we're in trouble. Michael wants to visit the village. Margaret gasped. Why? He says I don't act like the girl who saved him. He's beginning to suspect something. Margaret was quiet for a moment. Then she said, Stop him. Lie, distract him, do anything. He must not see her. I can't hold him forever, Brenda whispered. If he finds out, everything is over. As the call ended, Margaret sat in silence, drumming her fingers. She knew the truth was getting too close. If Michael returned to the village, everything would collapse. Then a cruel idea came to her. She picked up her phone and made a call. I have a job, she whispered. There's a girl I want gone. Far away. Make sure she never comes back. Do you understand? You want her gone forever? The voice asked. Yes, Margaret said coldly. And don't mention my name. That evening, as Belinda returned from the stream, two strange men grabbed her. She kicked and screamed, but no one heard. They dragged her to an uncompleted building. She cried until her voice faded. Why is this happening to me? In the city, Michael packed his bag and told his driver, We're going to the village first thing tomorrow. When he arrived at Margaret's house, she came out smiling. Michael, my son. Welcome again. Good afternoon, Ma. I came to see Belinda's twin, your other daughter. Margaret's smile flickered. Oh, that girl? She's still in school. Or maybe with her useless boyfriend. Michael stared at her. That's fine. Let me get food for you. Pounded yam and egusi, you'll love it. No, thank you. I didn't come for food. She laughed awkwardly. No problem. When she returns, I'll let you know. After he left, Margaret laughed wickedly. Look at this fool. By the time my daughter finishes your money, you'll regret ever stepping here. Back at the abandoned building, Belinda sat on the floor, shivering, whispering, Lord, please forgive me. Please save me. One of the men turned. Shut up. Pray all you want. You'll meet your God in 20 minutes. The other added, Your mother asked us to do this. She said you're disturbing her plans. Belinda's lips trembled. My mother sent you. Yes. She paid us well. Your farmland is nothing to us. She cried harder. Only you can save me, Lord. Suddenly, both men yawned. One rubbed his eyes. I'm so sleepy. Me too, the other said. Within seconds, they both collapsed into deep sleep. Belinda stared in shock. She didn't understand, but she knew it was her chance. She stood and ran, weak and barefoot, tears streaming down her face. After some time, she stopped under a tree, panting. God, I'm tired. But I don't want to die. A calm voice spoke from behind the tree. A man in white stepped out. My daughter, he said softly. Keep going. A bike man is waiting on the main road. He'll take you to your husband's office. Belinda turned quickly. Who are you? He smiled. Just a helper. Go now. The Lord has answered your prayer. She didn't wait. She ran. At the road, under a tree, a bike man Saturday. Did someone send you for me? She asked. He nodded. Yes. Come quickly. She climbed on, and as the wind hit her face, she cried, this time from hope. Back at the building, the men woke up, confused. She's gone, one shouted. You were supposed to watch her. Me. You slept like a log. Their shouting turned violent. In rage, both raised their guns and shot each other. The evil ended by its own hands. Meanwhile, Belinda arrived at Michael's office, dirty, weak, barefoot. Michael saw her and stood, stunned. This is the woman I fell in love with, he whispered. Tears spilled from Belinda's eyes. Michael, it's me. The real Belinda. He rushed to her, held her gently. What happened? Where have you been? She told him everything, the kidnapping, the betrayal, Brenda's lies, and how her mother wanted her dead. Michael was speechless. Your own mother. Belinda nodded. Because I refused their way of life. They wanted me gone. She added, but God sent help. A strange man and a bike man, they saved me. Michael's eyes welled with tears. That's exactly what happened to me too. I collapsed in the bush. A man and bike man brought me to the hospital. I searched for them, but no one knew them. I believe they were angels, Belinda said. Michael nodded. Yes. Sent by God. He picked up his phone and called the police. Hours later, Brenda was arrested for impersonation, and Margaret for attempted murder. At the station, Brenda confessed. My mother forced me. I knew it was wrong, but I was too scared to say no. Because she confessed and helped the investigation, she was later released, but the shame followed her. Margaret was sentenced to 10 years in prison. As she was taken away, she shouted, I did it for you, Brenda. I wanted a better life. Brenda cried bitterly and returned to the village, full of regret. Alone in the compound, she whispered, I wish I never listened to you, Mama. I should have chosen the right path. 2 weeks later, Michael and Belinda got married in a beautiful church ceremony. Everyone clapped and cried. Even Michael's mother danced, saying, Now this is my true daughter-in-law. God bless you both." As they stood before the pastor, holding hands, Belinda smiled through tears. "I never thought this day would come." Michael looked into her eyes. "I told you I'd come back. And now, you'll never be alone again." They were joined by love, by truth, and by the second chance heaven gave them. Dear viewers, what lessons did you learn from this story? Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed it, give us a thumbs up, share with friends, and hit subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update.